The next question is, can coach training help me through my own personal transformation?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
You might be surprised.
It's surprising. It surprised me at how much I grew from my own coach training and leadership, and then training other coaches leading this thing. It feels like uh, coach training is a way of personal development, and entrepreneurship is also another one. And just doing anything that's caring for human beings is is a way of professional development. I'm still working my way through Seth Godin's Linchpin. Again, I haven't read it in a while, and I'm picking it up. And this idea that we are all artists, and I don't know why my camera's doing that. It seems
It was being very artistic while you were talking about us all being artists.
it wants to zoom out and zoom in. The idea of we're all artists, no matter if you're working as a entrepreneur, if you're working in an organization, if you are um, whatever it is, this idea that you're doing something and you're giving you're caring about the work in a deeper way, and you're able to engage in emotional labor where you're able to connect with human beings. And what coach training does is it gives us specific tools that help us connect better with human beings. We learn how to listen more powerfully, to ask questions that have freer curiosity, and then to get into some of the ideas around positive psychology and a lot of these structures that people have created. These become scaffolds for looking at situations. Being able to basically look at something with a map and say, okay, that goes there, this goes here, like the Cartman's drama triangle. You realize, okay, cool. If there's a struggle or tension in a relationship, let's map it out. Let's look at the interplay between the different parts of this relationship or situation. It just gives you a more detailed and robust way of viewing the world and yourself. You can't help but grow personally and develop in that way when we do these things. And so to me, that's where that was I think one of the biggest surprising things that people consistently say. I mean, you hear it too when in the exit interviews, that they grew as much personally as they grew professionally in this process.
Yeah, I loved just what you said, how you spoke to that. It is, I mean, for me personally, that was huge. I remember jumping into the program, and my main focus was, how am I going to help others with this? And there wasn't any kind of, I was like, we're good. Like I'm on I'm on my journey. And it's totally changed the trajectory of so many things in my life, but my relationships, how I show up in those, how I approach work, it's just a ripple effect into so many other things. So yes, it's been really powerful in how I connect with clients, but it has transformed so many other areas of my life. And even how I face my own personal struggles or own personal hurdles and things, to have that knowledge and be able to have that self-awareness is really neat. And yes, most people that I talk to when we do the grad stories, it really is just this, everybody I think is kind of shocked. Even if we go in knowing we're going to learn things or maybe be transformed, I don't think the level of transformation is something that is expected for most coaches going through the program. And it's a really, really cool thing to get to hear how they moved from this to this, or even this story that they had turning into this story. I mean, there's just so many degree of transformation that happens, I think, within the program. And so to encourage coaches to be open and be curious about themselves as they start the program or they're in the program, and give themselves some grace, because you are learning so much so quickly about yourself. And I think sometimes that can feel overwhelming because you're learning about yourself, learning how to become a coach. It won't feel like so much eventually. And the learning personal learning and professional learning will be so worth it and come a lot easier eventually. But yeah, the personal transformation is pretty awesome. And I think that's the journey of being a coach too. I think one thing that I've learned is I will continuously always be learning and growing. And that's what I want to be a part of my life. I don't want to stay stagnant. I want to become the best version of myself every year. And that comes with being curious about myself and growing with my clients, so I love that about the life coaching journey as well. Like, you have an opportunity once you tap into this world, there's no going back. It's going to impact you pretty strongly for the rest of your life. So I think that's really beautiful.
I agree. I agree. I feel like there's a lot of, there's so much growth that happens in this field where there is a misconception in the coaching world that you need to have your life totally together before you're able to help other people. It's not, it's, yeah. I mean, I don't know how much, like people, when they get into this, when we were starting out in the early 2000s and, we said we wanted to be life coaches, the assumption is you need to be an expert in life before you can coach someone or how to do it. That though is a mentorship relationship. So the definition of a mentor is you're speaking to someone who's done what you want to do, and they're giving you practical advice to get to that place. That's mentorship. It's different from coaching. And coaching is more around, I view coaching almost like it's not a commodity, but I think it's helpful to think of it like one, where if a coach approaches you with curiosity, powerful questions, if they're an expert in their own process of identifying assumptions, biases, perspectives, default narratives, things like this. If someone is an expert in identifying that, what a coach can do then is simply raise awareness.
Mm.
No matter what the situation, no matter who they're working with, a coach is an expert in raising awareness. With that, then you can start to, there's a development process that has to happen. If you raise awareness, you are developing. Developing comes from a Latin word, means velo means to fold. You're literally you're folding out. You're allowing the unraveling of awareness to happen in bigger and in more substantial ways. So this is, for me, like, this is almost synonymous. Like, it's almost like awareness is almost synonymous with development, especially when you're applying it with insight and action and learning and moving forward. I mean, this is the coaching process.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I apologize. I get a lot of phone calls. It's pretty wild how many things are all the moving parts. But
that makes me. Oh, sorry, Don. Go ahead.
I just need to put on no notifications. That's part of my pre checklist. Need to do it better.
We hop from one meeting to this, so